this man the ball. Thomas Sorber doubled fast, quick trigger, and Micah Peavy could not hit. Offensive rebound by Georgetown. Hoyas won the first meeting in D.C. in part because of the rebounding battle.
Rebounding can't give his team second chance opportunity to see Sorber.
Jamil Telford leading score, doubled, knocked away. Peavy stripped it. Peavy ahead. Thomas Sorber again, they're playing their best ball of the season right now. Telford
try to take advantage of the mismatch. Kind of subtle right there with a one-legged fadeaway. I love to see him put some pressure on the rim.
Sorber, tough catch, better finish.
Someone else is going to react to that, and that reaction is really all you need. You might not actually need the ball in your hand.
Sorber, up and under. The freshman from Nigeria played high school ball at Long Island Lutheran in New York. Matched up with the front-runner for Big East Freshman of the Year, Thomas Sorber, who's got it now, and Ari Arine has scored more points so far. But Sorber gets in with the first bucket.
And that comes off the heels of something that Coach Cooley did not want to happen, was second chance points, making sure that they clean the glass, focusing on the things that they can control. Seton Hall is gonna attack their shots.
Thomas Sorber wide open.
14 minutes of the game. And Butler leads by 4, their largest of the afternoon. Slip pass, Sorber, hard jump stop, and man, oh.
Into a strong right hand, using a strong physical body to create contact. And going right at Sorber. Try to get him in foul trouble. He's going to play majority of the game, averaging 35 minutes a game. So, see what his conditioning is looking like.
Give it go, Sorber right to the rim again.
You have to know where Foster is on the floor every time down the floor. He shoots 43% from the three-point line. 31 of his 59 made field goals are threes.
Well, Xavier wouldn't be mad with him shooting a couple of more of those.
Sean Miller told us so.
Sorber got busy early. He's doubled and scored anyway.
The Xavier Musketeers.
You're pretty good. You say push?
Mm-hmm.
5 seconds or less, they're at the rim.
16 fast break points a game. That's #1 in the Big East and 5th in all of college basketball. Nice pass.
A great pass from Peavy, and there's Sorber for the first time.
The 6'8" Euro step finish and the steal by Curtis Williams Jr. An extra possession for the Hoyas. Sorber. What rock!
And so you got to keep it honest by making a quick move every now and then, and he certainly did that. His footwork is superb in the post.
Well, leading all freshman scores in the Big East, and Malik Mack with a beautiful setup for him.
Caliber year for the grad transfer from TCU.
What you like when you see someone make the most of their opportunities.
Sure.
He's now 5 of 9 from 3.
Fremantle can't reply. Rebound for Peavy. And Dante Maddox in the game, checking one of the two-way stars in the Big East, Micah Peavy.
He can make that.
He does here because of a road bit.
David Swain had a size advantage on the inside. I do like the play. He just missed it.
Well, that was something that Swain got direction from the Xavier staff after Creighton, when there were a couple of bunnies that he didn't put in late in that game.
Yeah, and Georgetown's got to continue to try to get it to Sorber on the move.
And behind the back pass, almost went to the backcourt. Sorber turnarounds. He's got 10 already.
He prepped outside the state, finished his high school career at La Lumiere in Indiana. And Sorber just too long.
Late hours on Friday.
Nice smile from Finley Bizjack as he retreats back to the other end. He's got 11. Mack bounces. Here's Sorber going up against screen. That's a fun big man matchup, and Sorber gets the better start early on. Had 8 quick points. This is McCaffrey driving to the basket. A lot of contact, no whistle. Georgetown with a chance on this first trip, the second half, to take the lead. That's Sorber who goes right through screen. Event. Mulready bounces into Sorber. Faces up, falls away over screen and connects. He's got 10.
That was a very comfortable ball screen jumper.
Offensive rebound to the putback for Sorber.
Right now we're saying, how about that poster? Woo. Don't try him, true fielder.
Yes.
Well, biggest run.
Nice pass.
That they've had in Sorber.
Meanwhile, started 0-6, but they've won 2 of the last 4. That's Brooks with a strong take. He missed it, and the rebound corralled by Caleb Williams, who steps into the starting lineup tonight in way of Jaden Epps. Malik Mack, the Harvard transfer, bounces inside. This is Sorber who goes off the glass, and it is...
And particularly Malik Mack, number 2 in black, had 26 points the last time these two teams played. They've got to get number 2 going in this game.
And another third scoring option, Jaden Epps, not available tonight for Georgetown, as Sorber starts the second half with a...
Williams has to spit it out. Brooks, hand in his face on the 3, spins out, and it's rebounded by Sorber, his first of the night for the Big East leading rebounder.
Keep an eye on Brooks. No, last year, Butler beat Georgetown twice. Brooks had 29 points in both games.
Sorber all the way to the basket.
And that's what Xavier will do. Peavy with a game-high 24. Driving right again. Help showed by Fremantle.
Sorber hasn't had a touch in a while.
Now he does. It's a good one.
With your team.
I would have said forget about the score. One, we need to come out with energy. We need to come out playing together and use that on the defensive end to create easy baskets on this end of the floor.
That's a little bit more. He's a fun kid to watch. He is filling up the stat sheet tonight.
Yeah, he plays both ends of the floor as well. This is the next part of his game that scouts have been talking about.
Landon Moore maneuvering into the lane, steps through, had the shot altered, and Caleb Williams comes away with it for the Hoyas. Peavy looking to push, darts into the paint, leaves it for Sorber, hangs and banks it in.
Matt got his man in the air. Wow. That was altered. Sorber on the cleanup.
You know, the other...
It is just the second time in the last 25 years. The second time in the last 25 years, yes, that St. John's has been up by at least 25 at halftime in a Big East game.
Wow. Wow. Now, this is how you start if you're Georgetown when you come out of that locker room. And it has to be a steady diet.
To me, do you think that helped your players a lot when you do that?
Absolutely.
Wow. I've never heard of anybody do that. That's why you're a legendary head coach that you are, Phil Martelli, but that is awesome.
Butler with a zone look. Again, I will say, over the 2 workouts that we saw today and yesterday's Georgetown practice, I was stunned at how much zone both teams practiced.
Why?
Because I had seen them on tape as being man-to-man teams.
It up like his dad, and that's what he's out there for, to extend it, knock down those long shots, and he can get it going too.
It's his first attempt of the game. 5-point lead for the Friars. See how many touches Sorber gets here. Going up against the rim, goes up with the left.
Sorber's behind you, so you can give a little with your Peavy.
Malik Mack, there's Sorber skying in for the rebound. 8 points now, 5 boards. To go along with a couple of blocks for the freshman big man. Elbow jumper, rattles home.
If you work your tail off in practice, they'll allow you to shoot those in games.
And there's Sorber coming away with the steal. Peavy feeding the wing, and Epps looked a lot better on Monday. Fielder feeding Sorber, and the mid-range game with Sorber underneath. Sorber stays with him. Asomnico unable to squirm away.
Fortunately, he didn't get a 3-second call there. He pivoted 3 times, which that's basically the count for the officials without them having to count.
Sorber wants another triple. He's got it!
And Jaden Pierre has been thrust into that leadership role since the wait for Bryce Hopkins continues, and he's done a pretty good job. Wow. Another. And I agree with them.
There's a rejection for a rim set.
Surprised Williams didn't shoot that. That's his specialty.
Curtis Williams off the bench for the Hoyas. Lob pass. Sorber had to gather. That's a tough
zone around that lower block area. Can't shove him that far away from the basket.
Tigers still have a couple of fouls to give. Sorber goes over top of him.
No, after they make a good play.
Physical screen set by Lindsay. Mila off the mark. Peavy the rebound.
I like it. Both of them are even keel. Make a big play. It's the same kind of mannerisms as if something that goes sideways.
Sorber going up with the left.
Come in and give your team a lift.
Showing some depth this afternoon. There's a Lindsay. Meeting Peavy. Sorber in one!
They have to be concerned with making sure they find the going over shooters. They shoot it at 40% on the season. Good start. And relaxed offensive possession against that matchup. Go to the middle, go to the wings.
Everybody can sit down rather early.
Wasn't the case Friday night, was it?
Took a while for Villanova to find their first points. Sorber twisting and turning against Enoch Goach. Double figures, 18 on Friday. Really been a key presence for them. The secondary scoring behind Dixon, he's gone.
And an aggressive guy going to the basket, as we saw the other night. See what it does for their flow here, especially at the offensive end. You can make up for it defensively.
No free throws with the offsetting technical fouls. So we're back into action, but a huge, huge swing personnel-wise in this game as Sorber goes to work with a reverse on. Complicated matters with Luga Poplar ejected out of this game early. Brickus survived the 2 early fouls, even getting some playing time at the end of the first half. Let's see if Georgetown can get Sorber going here.
A chaotic start from a pace perspective as Richmond is long.
And I think Georgetown will live with that. If Kagari Richmond is beating you from behind the arc, not saying he can't make them, but it keeps him out of the paint. It keeps you out of foul trouble when he's shooting long jump shots.
St. John's scored on the opening possession. Since then, 0 for 6.
And the crowd quiet. Nice job by Georgetown keeping this crowd out of the building. They are waiting to erupt.
Mack looking for Sorber. Thomas Sorber and one.
I know the crowd didn't like that, at least a couple behind us, but when you get pushed, they can call the foul on St. John's, or they let it play.
Sorber gets it to go.
To not tell him how great he is. He'd like to hold on to him for a couple of years. The opening tap is controlled to Fielder, and Georgetown with their fun unis today, and UConn with their home whites on the road. Our officials, Brian O'Connell, Tony Chiazza, and Mike Palau.
And keep an eye out, number 5 in that teal or tidal blue, as they like to call it here at Georgetown. Micah Peavy, one of the special talents at both ends in the entire country. Look at that.
Nice work inside.
Jordan, guys, 5 years at Furman, making the leap, and you ask yourself, is he good enough to play in this league? And he has certainly shown that, particularly over the last 3 games with Fremantle being out.
Sean Miller said they're playing better than they anticipated he would, and that's been a pleasant surprise for them. Sorber spinning, beautiful touch from the
back line, but they have the talent and the athletes to be able to get stops.
Loose ball. Said my guy is tough inside there. Kid from Federal Way. 25-18 with 5 and change remaining here in the first half. Sorber trying to work pick and roll.
In both of the last 2 games, can't do that against these guys and take tough 2s, not 3s. Xavier, best, one of the best in the country, the best of the Big East. But there's that big guy who
21. Ross has made 4 threes. Georgetown as a team has 5.
And now the zone, which makes it a little bit harder. But Sorber with a nice cut there and a good pass. What a finish, left-handed.
Ilo lob, a little deep, but the tip, they keep it. Put back, not there for Burks, and Sorber cleans.
Marquette is a really good offensive team, John, but they have played against a zone 50 possessions this year, and they're bottom 30 in the country in playing against a zone. Haven't played against it a lot, but they're not a good zone offensive team.
Oh, there's Sorber and one. You called it.
You said it, Xavier really needed that basket just to calm things down in the building for a moment.
Yeah, they definitely did, but, you know, I want you to look back at that technical foul.
Yeah.
That's a 4-point swing. They'll continue to play through it.
Sorber tripped up, finds the angle.
Xavier's got to dig in. Get a stop. Look for Mack.
Mack with 23 points has exploded in the second half. Sorber, the freshman, diving towards the cup.
Come out here, we want to start strong. We want to focus on us. We want to rebound. We want to run the floor. He's looking for not many mistakes in this.
Yeah, Coach Cooley understands that as you head into league play with a younger team, all of these games matter. Every second, every minute, every timeout, everything matters as you want to build good momentum heading into Big East play.
Here's Sorber inside with the left hand again, and he's fouled.
He's just about to 2 shots, and then that time he was able to get his hand on it and block it.
Williams off the mark on this three-point attempt. Rebound back out to the Hoyas.
Hoyas are doing a lot of run and jump passes, which could lead to turnovers, so they must make an adjustment. Keep 2 feet on the ground and make a solid pass like Matt did right there.
That was beautiful.
Close out and get to the rim. 2-point game.
After trailing by 13, Xavier has made this a 1-possession game. Georgetown won for their last 10. Sorber, excellent real estate down low. Catch and finish.
A crack of daylight, and the DC native finally did.
Thomas Sorber with a small lapse on defense right there, and Ellaby was able to capitalize, get the left-hand drive finish.
Working it inside to Sorber again. He's just so fundamental. There's Sorber again, fundamental defense, but Coppin State scrapping down low before Georgetown finally comes up with the loose ball.
Hoyas coming out with the right defensive intensity, the toughness that it's going to take. Let's see if they can build on their lead.
And there's Sorber again, using the left hand.
Havoc getting his team a possession.
He's just so sticky on the defensive end. Offensively improved well. You can see the rebound from Sorber underneath the back. Got a couple of them here.
Got a couple of them.
Orton can't get it to drop.
Love the communication right there by the Hoyas. Everybody saying same so that they didn't get a turnover on the rebound.
Double team coming over on Mack. Into Sorber, and he is surrounded by getting the pieces, right? You know, defensively, they have cranked it up about 120 notches from last year. In terms of defensive efficiency, one of the top 50 teams in the country. Here's Sorber, strong, fouled, and he will go. How good are the Hoyas going to be once they get into Big East play, right? They've had 2 games so far. They've already matched last season's win total. And Sorber gets a big finish down.
In the third, and Mark Turgeon, who was at Maryland at the time, they told me that I wasn't good enough to play at Maryland or Georgetown. And is it safe to say that decisions like that can cost you your job?
Well, it is hard to project what people are going to be, right? Like, that's the amazing thing is, you know, people are trying to project you guys when you're 16-year-old, 17-year-old kids. And
single digits, that's all you can ask for if you're Seton Hall. Got to get a stop here.
Georgetown led 21-9. 18-second difference between shot and game. Big possession here for the Hoyas. Sorber with a kick. Off the fake, Williams back to Sorber. Thomas Sorber with a silencer.
How about that?
In Los Angeles. Talking about the team to beat in the Big East. That's what first half stats and analysis. You had St. John's winning at the buzzer at Providence Friday night. Nice entry to Sorber. Thomas Sorber has 11. Third effort, Isaiah Coleman.
I'm telling you, I love Yalden. Like, he's not the most athletic on the floor, but he's so smart. He really is. Knows how to use that size. And he didn't score, but he created an opportunity for Isaiah Coleman.
Just the second paint bucket of the game for Seton Hall. Now Sorber answers.
And they're about the same trajectory, if you talk to Ed Cooley and his staff, as they were when they first got to Providence. You know, 2-3 years in is when they really started to make a difference. They're on that same track.
He said pregame, we've grown a lot.
Yeah.
But the only way you keep growing is if you sustain excellence. Sorber backing his way in. Thomas Sorber is big time.
Really jammed up Dylan Adewusu. What's the difference in that shot clock? running down.
How does Georgetown avoid getting in the mud?
Yeah, they just have to continue to throw that ball inside and stay spaced. You know they're going to run this flex action. And this flex action is just to get something in the post to see where the switches are going to be.
Hoyas ran flex 6 times against Creighton. They converted on 4 of them. Make it 1 for 1 here.
And that's why they run
it down, show the referees his hands, and that's a nice defensive play.
Hey, like Greg McDermott told before the game, you can't teach the instincts that he has defensively to be able to be in position and never foul.
Sorber goes into the paint, left side, off the glass, it's good.
So big, serviceable big man, has good hands, can finish down low in the paint. Might have been a goaltend right there. Might have been a goaltend. But at the same time, this group has to be able to close the gap, or at least keep the gap until the starters get back in.
Epps to Sorber, who jams it home.
In San Diego State, Texas A&M, he comes to play in those big games, this kid.
Yeah, he has a nice frame, 6'10", can shoot the ball, can drive to the basket, slither, get there, inside-outside threat.
And, he's not afraid. I mean, he had 16 against Alabama the other night, too. So in the big games, look at this.
Tony Chiazza goes to center court. The 2 big men are ready to jump it up and get the Big East regular season underway. Georgetown with the basketball to start things off. That's Epps. He's their prolific scorer.
And one thing we're going to see, Tom, is Creighton plays 99.5% man-to-man. The Hoyas will play a little bit of zone. That's a great move down.
Claw back into the deficit. Sorber has answered.
Yeah, it's nice to have at both ends. At both ends, it's a nice luxury to have. I love this full court. Slow Georgetown's pace down a little bit. See when they get into their offensive set now.
You're right, shot clock's at 15, and they're just jumping in. Now it's trimmed to 10. Here's Peavy. Down to Sorber. Tommy boy!
How about that athleticism? Finding a chest and continuing to elevate.
Peavy to Sorber. Thomas Sorber with another silencer. He's got
out in the first half. What a nice call, out of bounds under. And that just gives you so much energy to do the job down here as well.
Sorber responds when they have needed some.
Into Sorber. Good catch, good patience. His second.
Georgetown bigs. Chopper Moore draws the button, spins it out. Rebound to Fielder. Creighton Epps a 10-point first half for Georgetown. Sharing scoring lead with Sorber, who also had 10. The Georgetown starters 34 of the 37 for the Hoyas. Ball screen with Sorber. Into the body of Freeman. And Sorber sticks it home. Highlights gets 2.
The versatility of Davis and Freeman stands out. And playing both those guys together makes this Syracuse team really versatile, this lineup.
Oh! Inside, Sorber is fouled and finishes.
To be effective. It's been really efficient.
Oh!
This is here. Raheem McLeod's on the floor. Only the 3rd time this year he's played for Syracuse. Inside to Sorber, a rim rocker for the Hoyas. Will scores.
Nice job following the play by Eddie Lampkin. He's got a particular set of skills when he is in the game, and one of those is offensive rebounding.
Yeah, he's taken a few off the boards now for the Orange. Clapping his hands in the face of Sorber, and the freshman faces him up.
And then clap Elijah Moore. Contested in the mid-range.
Two defenders went for the ball.
Look at that defense gets extended. If you just break the initial extended pressure, you're going to have wide open opportunities. They found it, just got one to go down.
And the crowd responding to Darren Jabreez getting fired up on the sideline. Sorber. Mack penetrating for Sorber, and you see the athleticism. Oh, just 4 for 17. Mack's layup no good. Sorber another offensive rebound and a putback. They have a Georgetown now on a scoring drought that's approaching 3 minutes.
Well, if you don't think basketball is all about rhythm and flow, have a 5-minute stoppage and then watch how shooting struggles after that.
Trying
Trying to get it into Sorber and couldn't. Peavy, nice bounce pass to Sorber, who soars at the rim.
Retrievers once again.
I think they realized that their best offense is going to be early in transition.
Getting the steal, Kayvon Mulready, who checked into the game a few moments ago. Peavy back inside to Sorber, and Sorber just using the body. And there's another three-pointer, the third of the game for UMBC. They're shooting 75% from the field here early in the first half. Sorber down low, spin move. And
that's what happens when a generational, one of the greatest to ever play the game goes. LeBron James, former high school.
Oh, I thought we were still talking about Pippen High School.
You were talking about you. 9-point lead for West Virginia. Mack kicks it out for Sorber. Need it.
Big.
Got it.
And at the end of the possession, and Elijah Moore, the freshman, making a play at the end of the shot clock.
Snaps a scoring drought of about 3 minutes. Sorber, catch and finish, back-to-back buckets.
Came wide open in the left corner, and nobody got a body on Sorber.
Sir, no airspace. You think you're open. I'm here on the catch. Meet you at the top so there isn't a foul. Just phenomenal defense by the freshman.
Again, inside to Sorber, just making an answer for Marcus Banks. Ed Cooley says that the ceiling is high for Malik Mack. He'd like to see him maybe communicate a little better, as all good point guards do, but he's still learning. And there's Sorber, great spin. He's driving into the lane, and that defense just collapses on him. There's really nowhere to go.
Players that just cranked up their on-ball defense, their help side defense, aggressive at challenging everything at the rim. And as we can see, UMBC they're just struggling to find any good offense.
Yeah, you see Ed Cooley said in practice as they work it inside to Sorber in between.
And Marshall, who's playing with 2 fouls, gets stripped of the basketball. Georgetown a chance to expand this lead. He's going to try a 3, and Sorber got it.
You have to learn how to win and play with the lead.
Sorber fighting for the loose ball
all day long, so kind of a hard guy to get mad at. Wayne Killing just talking about the fact that as the team that they are and the situation they are is Sorber run.
Run has started on this end with UAlbany's aggression on the defensive end.
That is just pure. Every once in a while, it'll be one of those transition 3 balls. He wants them to have the confidence to take it, but he wants it to be a good shot.
You can't tell them not to take it because they get hesitant.
Goes one-on-one. Too short. And the Hoyas in transition. There's no real reason to run with it right now. Rather play your offensive sets in the half court. Or do that.
Match that defense on Esquera, forcing the fall. 8 to shoot. Williams heaves off the mark, and Mack the rebound.
Look for the Hoyas. Look for Jaden Epps to become a little more active as you see him dumping it down low to the big fella.
Duco ball at Monroe College. Mack, no. Sorber hangs on the
NCAA tournament ball club last year. Georgetown wasn't. So in prepping for this game, Coach Copeland's like, look, we've been to the tournament recently, and got a victory. So, they have an awful lot to build on. The Northeast East Conference is going to be put on notes, I think, when they start.
Esquera back for his big man, who can't score. Matt comes away from the threes.
Again, good possession, I think, by the Seahawks. Just weren't able to quite convert.
Here's Mack navigating. Sorber all alone. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and I like the pressure. It's a 2-2-1 full court pressure. It's not designed necessarily to steal the ball. They just don't want to have to chase St. Francis throughout the shot clock each possession because they don't mind working the shot clock down.
Sorber, first touch in about a couple of minutes. Short help. Gotta love. Second half, Georgetown at 3-1, St. Francis at 2-4. Georgetown gets on the attack first. Peavy had a fabulous start early in the game. Sorber, early touch for him.
Half a step slow.
So Kelly on the foul, big part, his second.
Again, they ran the first play of the second half with a big fella. Second play, back to the big fella.
He's pretty good.
Mount St. Mary's, a 3-1 start, best in 28 years. Adebayo misses his first look, and Sorber, the early rebound.
Georgetown slowing down the pace. Usually love to start the game inside. Might go to Sorber right here, try to establish their physicality in their inside position.
Early touch for Malik Mack, reigning Ivy League Rookie of the Year from Harvard. The aforementioned Epps is Georgetown. That's ball moving here. 5 to shoot. As you said, Sorber has his first 2. You go through college basketball, how many teams don't understand that and are playing for themselves? That's what he's trying to build here.
He's really happy that the players have an enjoyment for each other. They're willing to sacrifice for each other, and they care more about each other than themselves.
In the early 2010s. Last year, not what they want to be, but it was year 1 for these respective coaches. They want to show what's possible this season. Thomas Sorber just showed.
Downhill. Epps off the mark. Oh, man.
Passes. Now he's trying to get himself going, spark his own energy, his own engine.
Epps rooms it out. Sorber cleans up the mess. How about Thomas? That size from Sorber.
He can shoot it.
He can shoot it. He can. Too strong. Oh, my goodness. Man, that's how you pass the basketball. Here's Pacheco. Fading off the mark, and the rebound of Peavy, who's sitting on 999 career points with his 10 of the first half. Here's Peavy, nice feed for Sorber. Rolls it in, that touch inside. Second try, Pacheco works the board. Sorber, one positioning for 2.
A moment to clean up the court with 1:17 left to go here in the half. Georgetown won just 9 games last year, trying to turn it around here. And Thomas Sorber. Peavy driving, great switch of the hand to the left side, and the freshman there to clean it up.
Getting some good rest for Burton on the bench.
Sorber with the offensive rebound and 1.
Look at that activity. Hill, he sees 2 bigger players, goes by one and attacks the other one inside, soft.
About a 10-second difference between shot and game here, a little less. Off the fake, Williams to Sorber. Sorber has it, does it.
KCC, and the Peyton Smith got called for that foul as he was fighting with the freshman Thomas Sorber for position. That is Sorber. Taking it on the block, up and under, and he got it.
Beautiful in this game, but in the season, it's only game 2 that you give your opportunity, guys, to kind of get in sync and understand what you're trying to teach them every day in practice so they can carry it over into the game.
Great position for the bounce. Back and forth we go. Johnson can't get the 3 to fall. And Georgetown now trying to press a lead for the first time today.
Really good shot contest that time by Max, something they did not have a lot of. Ed Cooley talked a lot about that. More shot contest against 3-pointers led to a missed shot.
There's the freshman Sorber. Got it. Putting 3 minutes. Epps feeding Sorber. You want to keep going back in there. And if at first you don't succeed.
So these 2 teams exchanging punches here. Sorber got it after it was deflected away from Mack and lays it in.
Absolutely. And, you know, for a guy that's that young to have that kind of skill is not something that you see every day, particularly in a game that's dominated with perimeter players.
Talking to Ed Cooley about him before the game, I said skills, raised his eyebrows like, oh, yeah. He's wide open there. And right now, he is just like that for Fairfield. They have got the gray jersey right inside their chest. That's making it awfully hard for Fairfield to get good looks.
Nothing in transition. We'll see what they look for.
Oh, wow. Wow. Sparks driving. Nice touch. Got it on the rim, but that was all. Shot was bothered by Sorber.
Did a really good job of playing vertical, leaving his feet, not fouling.
Had a chance at a catch and shoot. Elected to pass it up.
He understood time and score that time.
Now he's got the shot, and now he hits it.
Hey, Jaden Epps has to get over to help the big. Crack down and stop that layup.
That's the feed to a rolling Sorber who throws it down. Sorber goes right at LB.
The big fella short
game. It was nothing but positive things that Ed had to say about his time at Fairfield, but first and foremost, grateful for the opportunity.
It's really, really hard to get your first job. Somebody's got to understand that you can do the job when you haven't done it before. So credit to Fairfield, Gene Dorsey, AD at the time for giving him that opportunity, and grateful is the word that Ed comes up with. Absolutely.
And a 3-5.
Good job by Fairfield to react to that run and jump by getting an easy basket going towards the paint.
Still within 9, still within shouting range here with 2:50 to go.
Wondering if Chris Casey's going to have to turn up some full court defense to try to create some steals.
Or maybe just try to keep that.
Coming up with a lot of offensive rebounds, keeping extra possessions for Georgetown.
Malik Mack threads the needle with Sorber. Bucket in the foul. That one left short, and Peavy the rebound.